episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of A.J. Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guests exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dada and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Hey. Hello, everybody out there. It's your boy, AJ Orsini, and we are here with episode 311. I am doing a phenomenal job of keeping track of the 300s, and I think that's because I've been editing so fucking much. But do not let the question mark fool you, Dave. Are you there?
Fucking barely.
Oh, he's here. We did it, folks.
By a thread.
This is a thread. It was like a whole roll of yarn. It finally
almost lost everything.
down
10 more minutes. And like, I was off this planet. I was going to go somewhere else for a little bit.
He's about to unalive his entire electronical situation over there. Okay, So tech issue today, but we're on the air. We're doing this. And also slight timing issue. We're not recording on Tuesday. Yes, we know we're a little late. We're recording this on Friday, the 13th. Ooh, I can't say it too loud.
Oh, shit, for real?
It is. My wife takes
this all makes sense
No. Don't do that, because I know the minute I leave the room, my wife's going to say the same shit.
Dude, just because you're a non-believer doesn't mean I don't have bad luck now.
Listen to me when I tell you this. This is not the first time we've had technical issues. Okay?
This bad?
If we what does it matter if it's this bad?
See?
We've had
levels,
hold-ups. There's levels to this. When the bad shit happens on November 2nd, it's still not a fucking thing, okay? If none of the bad things on Earth happened on any other day except for this one, there'd be something to the story. But something
maybe that's back pay. I mean, I've had a couple of good Friday the 13th. Maybe they're catching up to me.
Oh, you've had some good karma on those days?
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of been a dick lately, so maybe this is my fault.
Oh, there you go. Karma coming at you. That's karma going, gotcha, bitch.
See, I'm the victim.
How did this, I should have Googled this. How is this a fucking thing? Why is this such a thing for people? My wife's not the only one that thinks this whole bad luck thing on this day. I don't understand it. I've never gotten it. Bad shit happens to me all the time.
I did walk under a ladder and broke a glass.
At the same time?
Cat, so I might. Oh yeah, all at once.
all at once. That's what you get for multitasking while petting pussy. So anyway, we got a lot of shit. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to throw the word black in there.
Okay.
You should have just kept going. I wanted you to step on that joke, and now everyone heard it.
No, well, you can't do stuff like that. Juneteenth is right around the corner. You can't say things like that out loud. This is for the benefit for the culture here, okay? Right. But this is a very packed episode considering how late we are. There's still so much for us to actually get to, including and not limited to all the stuff that we're going to talk about right now. What's on the show?
Come on, don't keep us waiting. What's going to happen on the show today?
What's going to happen on the show today, and I'm going to give everyone an absolute heads up right now, this bitch is wrestling heavy. Pretty much the whole fucking thing. Because there's so much shit that took place. Obviously, we're starting off with the news of the King and Queen of the Rings. They are beginning on Raw and on SmackDown. We have a tremendous change in format, which we'll be discussing. Obviously, we'll also be going through with some of our picks who's going to walk away with not only the crown in Saudi Arabia, but a golden ticket to take them all the way to the first night of SummerSlam, where I will be waiting with beer and popcorn in hand. We also will be discussing the weekend of the doubleheader. That's correct. The AAA and NXT had a barn burner of a show. If this is your first taste of AAA, there is much to break down here. What a show, what an event. And just down the street in Inglewood, sipping on some gin and juice, were the main stars of WWE in the Intuit Dome, as they also gave us the production of WWE Money in the Bank. That also went down. And we're making history, folks. We're making history. Mark it down. It took 311 episodes for this to happen. I thought about this earlier. We've never done this, whether when it was just me on the podcast or with you, Dave. We have never done back-to-back main events. It's never happened. But oh, how crazy a week can change things. Last episode, we talked about the departure of R-Truth. Tonight, we must discuss the return of R-Truth. Work or shoot, we will discuss. So let's go ahead, let's get on with it, and let's begin our show. Finally, we're doing this. This is a thing that's actually fucking happening right now. Let's get into seg one.
Let's begin segment one.
It is royalty time. It is time to be royal, as the king and queen of the ring tournaments began this past Monday on Monday Night Raw with a change in format. Normally with tournament brackets, it's the same in any event tournament brackets. You talk about the NFL, you talk about sports in general, the NBA, the March Madness. It's always the same. You have yourself a round of either 16, 8, multiples of 8, and you have one-on-one matches. Each winner faces the next winner all the way to the finals until you have one Grand King. But there is a change in format this year. Very, very interesting choice. Perhaps because they were short on time, but let's not get logistics get in the way of what could be a fresh concept to the King of the Ring. So what we're doing this year is, instead of one-on-one matches all culminating toward the finals, they are doing 4 fatal 4-way matches per tournament. So Queen of the Ring has 4 fatal 4-ways. Say that 4 times fast. And the men have 4 fatal 4-ways, with the winners all meeting in semifinal matches, one-on-one matches, and then those 2 semifinal winners will meet in the overall finals in Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions. So, first and foremost,
they expediting this shit.
Yeah, I was just going to say, first and foremost, let's talk about the format.
I like it.
So I was, tell me, expound on that. What is it about this format that you do like so much?
Hurry this shit up. I don't need matches that I know aren't going to go past the first round.
Right.
Like,
right.
for instance, if you had Shane and Perez, like the first one, Ripley and Shane, or Sane, and then Morgan and Perez, like, I already know who's going to... If those were separate matches,
yeah,
I already know what the next round is.
Okay.
Like, miss me with that shit. So now, just pretty much put the 2 that I know are going to be together and make a nuisance. Put the other people that aren't going to win and, like, surprise me.
Well,
I like this.
Well, here's an interesting twist. I like what you just said. I like what you just explained, because off the top of my head, when I first saw this bracket, I agreed 100% with everything you just said. But on Raw, they had the first Fatal 4-Way, which was the women, which was the one that you just mentioned. Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. And when that match was over, I discovered a brand new like for this format.
Uh-oh.
Because Roxanne Perez won her match, which now eliminates Liv Morgan, Kairi Sane, and Rhea Ripley from the goddamn tournament. And I was like, big
you have
fucking
more
win.
Opportunity for upset.
Yes, big fucking win for Roxanne Perez, to the point where even if she doesn't win the fucking tournament, what a fucking win on Raw. Like this is this is bragging rights right here. Even if she gets knocked out in the next round, she's got storyline for Morgan, storyline for Sane, storyline for Ripley. She's the one who eliminated them from the tournament. This opens up avenues. So I was like, okay. Also, we're getting a tad ahead of ourselves. Let me go ahead and inform the listeners of the actual bracket. In case you didn't see Monday Night Raw, I'll get through it quickly. We already kind of spoiled on the left side of the Queen of the Ring tournament. Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, Liv Morgan, and Roxanne Perez. On one side, Jade Cargill, Michin, Piper Niven, and Nia Jax also on that side. Now that's a land of that. All behemoths except for little old Michin. Michin isn't going to be eating some fucking
Listen,
pain
if she's
here.
hardcore, this is her chance to prove it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, she's going to be taking some bumps in that one. On the opposite side, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and Candice LeRae, which is an interesting dynamic. And then on the other side, the return of Asuka, the in-ring return of Asuka, in the ring with Stephanie Vakir, Raquel Rodriguez, and Ivy Nile, who I would like to go ahead and just say for the record, I feel like Ivy Nile is getting a whole lot better, baby. She's getting better.
Working. She's shaking
working.
shaking the rust off.
She's getting over that learning curve a little bit. The last
There you go.
The last match that she had, I saw her in. It was Stephanie Vakir and Liv Morgan, I want to say, and dope. She was holding her own in that, so I'm starting to appreciate that.
There you go.
For the men, Sami Zayn, Penta, Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio.
Whoa.
This is the one that I think will steal the show, this four-way for the men. Randy Orton, LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Carmelo Hayes. That's going to be fire. I can't wait to see that fucking match. That's going to be good. Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade, and Shinsuke Nakamura. That is ripe for upset. Not for nothing. That's ripe for upset. You look at that and you go, "Oh, Cody has to win," but you don't know.
I'm rooting for Andrade, man.
Oh, the surprise pick.
I'm a big Andrade guy, and I feel like he's just hovering mid card right now. I'd like to see him get a little something.
Well, we've got a little Andrade conversation coming up a little later on. We'll get to him in due time. And that last fatal four-way, Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and what was known at the time to be a mystery competitor. They were leaving one spot open. Now, one beautiful part, the only pro to this current situation, is not only did we wait till Friday to record this, but we're an hour late on recording it. While I was waiting for you for the tech issue, guess what? Adam Pearce broke the news on who the mystery person is. So right on time.
Strowman came back.
No. His
That's been perfect right here.
His knees would. Oh yeah, considering who's in the ring right there. Yeah. Oh man. Nope. But apparently Adam Pearce was waiting for the World's Heavyweight Championship match to come to an end to make his final decision. So the fourth man in that match will be Jey Uso. He's going to be in the King of the Ring tournament. He gets the last spot. Now he's got to get through Reed, Rusev, and Sheamus, but that's his position there.
That's weird. Okay.
It is a little weird.
That's weird.
Especially,
I don't get it.
Especially with all the backlash WWE is facing right now due to that irregular loss that happened on Monday. And for the record, folks, I'm not saying irregular because I didn't agree with the decision. As a matter of fact, hot take, I loved that call on Monday. And I could explain it away. Not that it would matter to anyone else, but I could actually explain that decision very logically. But Jey Uso will be in this tournament for the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring tournament I just gave you guys. So on the women's side so far, as I mentioned before, Roxanne Perez pulls ahead in her four-way. She goes to the semifinal. The men also had one of their qualifiers, their four-ways. It will be Sami Zayn moving forward into the semifinal. Those are official. As of right now, I do not. SmackDown is happening right now as we speak. So maybe throughout the course, actually, the way that we're timing this, I think throughout the course of our show, I will be able to update you as to whether or not who the people moving forward are going to be, in case any of them have won their matches yet. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm going to keep my ear to the ground on this one and see who moves forward and who does that. But until we know for sure, I would love to pick your brain, dude, see where you're at, because you know what? I have discovered on this show, you are pretty good at making these picks. You called the United States Championship for the women. You've made some especially when it comes to the rounds, you've made some really good decisions in the past. So I'd like to put you on the spot here. We know who won one of the Raw matchups. What about the other matchups? The returning Asuka, Stephanie Fakur, Raquel Rodriguez, Ivy Nile. Who do you like in that 4-way?
So, I listen. I have a new favorite in wrestling.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my God,
she's good.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to be super biased, dude. I want Stephanie to go all the way.
All the way.
I'm just so we don't waste any time. I just want you to know from the gate, I want Stephanie minimum to make it to the end, but I want her to go all the way.
Okay.
She's the one, dude. She's the one.
She's the chosen one.
She is the one. I'm telling you.
Okay. All right. Well, she's going to obviously win that bracket then. So what do we go to the SmackDown side? The Behemoths. Cargill, Michin, Niven, Jax. Who walks away? Who pins?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say who pins Michin to go to the next round.
I don't know. I want to say Jade Cargill.
Yeah,
but I think we're past the stage of like positioning her very specifically to try to give her like a certain boost. I don't really know how to explain it, but like they were working for her, like they were giving her work so she looked good, stuff like that. I think she's in a place right now where she can afford to lose and tell stories. And based on like kind of what happened during like the pay-per-view stuff, I don't know if they're fully committing for her on this one. I wouldn't be surprised if Jax won this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Jax.
Giving it to Jax. Okay. I'm kind of on the same wavelength with you as far as Jade, but the beautiful part, I think, about this specific situation is that Jade can lose this match without actually being pinned. So I don't necessarily think that I think personally if she was to win this matchup, it's going to be hard to protect her after this. Or if they're going to beat her here. Now, having said that, if I'm looking at the bracket in front of me, can I go with this?
I don't see a reason for Perez to beat Jade Cargill. Yeah. Machin's not going to make it. And Niven, that would be the upset. I wouldn't be shocked. I love Niven. I think she's awesome.
Right.
I think they need to do more with her, but I think a better story, if they want to tell one, would be Perez and Nia Jax. Because you can upset Jax and it won't hurt Jax if you want to go that route with Perez. Or you could just squish her, which also does good for Jax. So I really think Jax is going over on that one.
I'm gonna be doing this throughout the night. So apparently SmackDown opened up with a promo. Cena was doing a promo in the ring with Randy Orton, LA Knight, and I can't make out who that fourth person is. But it doesn't matter because John Cena walked away from them and right now he's being jumped by Ron Killings. Ron Killings is once again getting his hands on John Cena. This is going to be a continuing problem for John Cena.
Can't wait.
So I'm going to be doing this. This is fun. I'm going to keep doing this throughout the course of the show and see how, because I do want to find out who wins these King of the Ring deals. So yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to have to go Nia Jax on this one too. It does make logical sense to me what you're saying, and now that I'm looking at the bracket, yeah, and that would put based on the brackets, that's Perez and Jax. You're already saying you think Perez goes up on that too.
I with Jax, I'm never surprised. No. I'm never surprised to see Nia Jax go over ever.
Okay,
but they seem to like Perez.
Yes,
I have my own thoughts, but they love her.
Does it hurt
they
your?
Love her?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I was just gonna say, does it hurt? Does it change your mind at all? Does it influence your decision at all that Nia Jax was last year's winner?
Yeah, didn't we call that? We were close to it. I don't think we. No. I don't. If I remember correctly, we didn't want her to win.
Yeah,
but we felt like it was going to happen.
I remember saying something to the idea of how much they liked Lyra, because remember the opponent was Lyra Valkyria, and I was like, oh, what a great moment, what a great way to get her debuted onto the main roster with a big win like this, and they ended up going the other way, but I wasn't completely wrong because look who won the very next tournament, right? It was Lyra Valkyria, so I wasn't completely off. I just got the wrong tournament together. But yeah, I don't. Her going back to back as far as finals appearances actually I think helps Roxanne in that situation. Because that's an easy promo for Nia. Hey, I won last year in Saudi Arabia. I'm going to win this year, too. And then here comes the big upset, especially that David Goliath situation. Plus, let's not forget Roxanne's got the Judgment Day behind her at this point. So there's power in numbers. No Tiffany Stratton to help Nia Jax this year. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That puts Roxanne Perez in the finals. Let's hold that thought. We'll go to the other side. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Chelsea Green, and Candice LeRae.
Well, LeRae is fodder.
Okay, yeah. Same thing with Michin. Who's beating Candice for the win?
So, LeRae is fodder. The Green would be the upset, which I'm not mad at.
Right.
But I feel like someone's mad at her.
She's getting Zack Ryder.
I feel like she pissed somebody off. But anyway, I don't think Bliss cares. I get this vibe from Bliss that like she's this huge persona, right. But anybody at her level that has come back has like come, I don't want to say to do big things, to say that she's not doing anything. I'm just saying like they usually come back and they're like in the picture of certain things. She really is just kind of playing this filler. Like she almost feels like she's doing it part-time. Like I just don't think she cares if she wins or not. I think she just might be having fun or something, or they just don't have anything planned. I don't know. It's just weird. And the obvious choice is Flair, but I'm hoping for
do it again,
I'm hoping for an upset.
You're gonna do it again, aren't you? You're gonna sit here and put that voodoo on us like you did at the Rumble with the goddamn Charlotte Flair pick. Don't do it to us again.
If they don't knock her out in the 4-man, when it comes to the one-on-one, it's going to be hard to bet against her.
Yeah, she's the opposite of the Cargill situation. You can't hide Jade, but you wouldn't hide Charlotte. If she wins the 4-way, she probably goes all the way because there's just no other way to do it.
I absolutely love Stephanie and Chelsea on that next round one-on-one. That's what I would prefer.
I'm going against the grain here. I like Bliss for this. I think we need a big win here. She's getting the biggest pops. The promo skills are there. You painted a picture of her just almost, correct me if I'm wrong, but almost sounded like you were referring to the fact that she might be coasting here. Something to that effect.
If she wasn't as much of a superstar as she is, then I would say she's coasting. I think she's just kind of chilling.
She's just
like
chilling.
It's just whatever.
It's whatever.
And I say that because if they decided to make her champion tomorrow, the room would erupt.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It would absolutely erupt. So I just think she's chilling. That's the vibe I got. Just get this is fun.
I would like Bliss to come out of this bracket here.
That would be good.
I don't want
Flair.
Just not Flair. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't want Chelsea to move forward either because I just know she'll do the job for the next person. I don't want any more damage on her than there already is. So I would have Bliss pin LeRae. Be honest with you. Get out of that. On that next bracket, I love Stephanie Vacour. I do. I do. Two Stephs in the same room with me, I'm with it, right? I have a great history when it comes to fucking Stephanies. I know what they're capable of. But I have to throw a monkey wrench in the whole program because of the theme we keep going with. She doesn't need to be pinned to lose. There's other options on the table. I don't foresee them bringing back Asuka just to do a fucking JOB. It's hard for me to sit here and say, yeah, Stephanie should do it, when I know that I've also got the return of Asuka, and they're hyping it on the television, and they're pushing for it, and there's a built-in storyline there, already main event caliber with an Io Sky or a Kyrie, or any of those former Damage Control things. There's options on the table. There's fresh faces that Asuka hasn't competed against, and she's a top name. Stephanie is new, dope, talented, but new. And I'm sorry, folks. I got to go with my brain over my heart. I think Asuka wins this match. I think Asuka gets in there with Bliss. I think Asuka goes to the final. And I got Roxanne Perez and Asuka in my final. As far as who wins it all, I'm going Roxanne Perez. I think the writing's on the wall.
I think they like her too
They
much,
like
yeah.
her a lot. And I
Going
think
over
the talent does
Morgan
too.
and Ripley right now just says a lot.
Yep. That was big. If she's getting past Ripley, she could beat anybody in this tournament. Anybody.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. That's something weird going on there. But anyway.
So to the men's side, we know that Zayn's already moved forward, so we'll skip ahead on that. Randy Orton, LA Knight, Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes. That's tough. Who do you got?
I'm not surprised. I'm not going to be surprised about any of these. Even Hayes. I'm not going to lie. Even Hayes.
Yes,
because it's a 4-man. None of these would surprise. You can do something with every single one of these. Orton's just going to make the match fire. Knight, I still say what you want about his character feeling flat. This dude gets pops every time. I don't know if it's the music. I don't know if it's the way he says it. They love this guy. And the other two, I don't mind them going over. This type of situation makes sense. So,
by the way,
we'll just have to see.
As we discuss this match, it is entering the ring as we speak. So by the end of our predictions, we'll know exactly who the four are. They're in the middle of their entrances right now as we speak. So as we move on, I will be able to tell you exactly who won. But
you know what? Since we're doing that, I'm gonna go with Hayes. I'm gonna see if he can upset it. I'm just gonna pick Hayes.
Damn it, you were an asshole. That was my fucking surprise pick. I was gonna go. I was like, because I could see. I know they're really into having Aleister being back with the company. I got Hayes pinning Black. I just do. RKO on Black, a confusion thing. Carmelo, big heel, steals the pin, something stupid like that. Hayes would be a good selection moving forward.
Yeah, Hayes would be good. I think. Yeah, let's go with that.
On the other side, this match won't happen tonight. Actually, if the men are already in the ring, that means that Flair Bliss Green LeRae match is happening later. So keep your ears on the ground. Oh, no. It could either be that one. One of the girls' matches is happening after that. We'll find out. But Cody Rhodes, Priest, Andrade, and Nakamura. You said you were already looking forward to Andrade doing something here. That was one of your picks. Or
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Rhodes, but I'm rooting for Andrade.
Andrade, baby.
Yeah.
So you pick Andrade out of that. I have a feeling, a sneaking suspicion, Damian Priest is walking out with the win on that one. I think Cody's too easy a pick on this. Too easy a pick, especially since last year he won that champion versus champion deal, and he beat Gunther last year. So I don't know about that, but yeah, you got Andrade, I got Priest, and on the last male match, Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and Jey Uso. I think they kind of tipped their hand on that one. it kind of has to be Jey Uso at this point. I would think it kind of has to be. I don't think it should be based on that 4, but I think it'd be interesting. Ooh, I just thought about this. What if it is Jey Uso and Cody does win? Are the butt buddies going to be able to survive in a match against one another?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
It'd
It'd be kind of lame,
Yeah.
but it'd be fine.
Yeah, I think that's too easy a matchup. I wouldn't want.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see either one of them in that round. And yet,
Nah.
one of them. I mean, oh my god, yeah, because of.
We're gonna get Jay.
Oh,
I'm convinced.
this is a bad spot.
Same
to
thing
put
with the
him in.
Oscar shit.
Unless he's going to win the whole thing. I don't. No, it's not the same thing as the Oscar thing. We just fucking saw Jay last week, and he lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oscar's returning from a damn near year-long injury. That's not nearly close. This fucking guy. I think they're tipping their hand as far as him being in the tournament and getting past the 4-way. I don't think you thinking they're gonna go all the way with that he should just win the whole goddamn thing?
Yeah, I think he kind of has to.
Because on the other side, Sami Zayn and Hayes were our picks, right? So I mean, not our picks. Sammy won, but Hayes was our pick. That puts Sammy and Hayes
in the
finals
with Jey Uso.
Yeah, well,
it's gonna be Zayn and Jey Uso.
Oh, you know, that's who should win this tournament, Zayn. Because of where they are. That's the only reason I suggest that. I know you don't give a shit. You're not Saudi Arabian though. They give a huge, tremendous fuck. That's a huge pop in that fucking part of the world if Sami Zayn walks away with a victory.
Oh, that's fucking lame. I'm done with that shit. Like I don't give a fuck if you're from there. Like I don't want you just to win because you're from there. He had his chance to have fun. The last time he went there, it was a whole moment. Like we're not doing this shit every year. We're not setting up Sammy to have a fucking big moment in Saudi Arabia every fucking year. That's stupid.
Let's fucking go. It's the $1 billion industry, baby. You gotta cater to the people. Give the people what they want.
That shit is trash.
If you're not going to have him go all the way and win, then you might as well put Melo over him straight up.
No, they're not. Don't get crazy. You're not going to fucking do that.
They wouldn't put Melo over Zayn?
No. Not one-on-one.
So that you're saying Zayn's getting into the final?
Yes.
You just don't want him to
I
win.
said,
so you're going to get...
Yeah, you can lose to Jay.
So you're going to go ahead and you're going to put Sami Zayn in the final, send his ass to Saudi Arabia, and then have him beat by one of those babyfaces.
If it was up to me, he wouldn't have got out of the first fucking round. But that's over. That's in the past now.
That's done now.
So we have to deal with what's in front of us. And he's going all the way.
Sammy's going all the way.
Yes.
But you
he's
don't
going
have...
to the finals, but then Jay is going to win it all.
And you don't think that hurts Jay? Because they're going to boo his ass out of the building if he fucking beats Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia.
Nah.
Nah,
they like to yeet too. If anything,
there are a couple
they
of yeeters.
like to yeet shit all the time.
Yeah. They'll yeet till the sun comes up over there in Saudi Arabia. Oh man,
like Sammy's dope, but I want to move my arms up and down.
Yeah,
so.
word. Look, there's nothing that beats this kind of cardio. He gets blown up every fucking time I see him. All right, so those are the picks right there. King and Queen of the Ring tournament. We made our picks. The match is in the ring as we speak. LA Knight going to work, doing his deal, stomping the shit out of Orton and Melo right now. So that is our King of the Ring stuff. As regardless of what we talk about moving forward, once the qualifiers or the first round matchups have been settled. Oh, Melo was looking good, by the way. We might be onto something here. He is looking sharp. They are shining him up like a brand new penny. Regardless of what we're talking about, I'll update you guys on the wins to see who actually moves forward. Oh, what a fucking leg drop. Okay, yeah. Stay on target. So
Focus.
We're doing watch along right now. This
God damn.
I could share it with you. We should do. No, we're gonna move to the next goddamn segment. We got a lot to fucking talk about. So let's get to the next segment.
Next up, segment 2.
Outside of the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, we had a Big weekend of professional wrestling taking place over in L.A., Los Angeles, as they call them, the Beverly Hillbillies. And we had two major PLEs, first of which I forgot, by the way, that L.A. is in a different time zone. And I remember when I was in L.A. myself, and I was there on a Monday, and we turned on the hotel TV, and it was broad fucking daylight, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and Raw was on. And I was like, what the fuck? What time is it? And they're like, oh, it's 5. And I said, oh, shit, we're on West Coast time. I forgot. And then it dawned on me in that moment. This is how the whole West Coast has been living since, like, the Attitude Era? Y'all always been getting these events dead smack in the middle of the afternoon? That's crazy. I would fuck my whole head up. If I was from L.A. and I was all of a sudden in New York, I'm like, yo, throw on Raw. I was like, nigga, it's not 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock?
Now imagine that shit before TiVo.
Oh.
If you a fan, you can never watch that shit.
Throws you completely off. Completely off.
No, I think it doesn't play like that. It delays.
Oh.
I don't know if they always delayed it, but I know before they went to Netflix, there was a delay. So once it ended here, it would then play over there.
Well, no, because when it played where I was at 5 o'clock, it was on the air at 8 o'clock in New York.
Yeah, but it's Netflix.
No. This was before Netflix. This is when it was still on USA. This was last summer.
Oh, that's crazy work.
Yeah, it wasn't on Netflix. It was last summer, summer vacation.
Yeah.
Well, that fact played into quite a hilarious situation because for us on the East Coast here, Worlds Collide started on YouTube at 3 p.m., which means that if you were in Los Angeles, you were in the building around noon. And that is an amazing time to go to a fucking wrestling show, I gotta tell you. But Triple A was on the air live on YouTube, and the first thing that stood out to me, and I want you to comment on this because I have a Spanish-speaking wife, you have a Spanish-speaking wife, and the minute I turned it on to the YouTube, everything we were hearing was in fucking Spanish. And despite the fact that I don't know the language like that, I had a fond appreciation for that.
I loved it. It was my favorite part that they did not. Some people mixed.
Yeah, Spanglish. They were going back and forth.
Spoke Spanglish, but it was. I think those people that did it do it naturally.
Yes,
because it wasn't like a thing like, oh, let me fill some English in here. No. It was like I felt like I was at my grandma's house and they were having a party. And then you just hear everyone speaking Spanish, but then there's like a conversation over here where they're like going in and out of it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's very natural. They're not doing it deliberately. That's just the way their brain is talking. And I loved it. I was like, dude, I love that this is just predominantly Spanish. We're not catering to anybody here.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. They added the subtitles on the bottom for people like me who are having trouble following. And whether you were a WWE star or an NXT star, if you're fluent in Spanish, you were able to use your Spanish. Even Chad Gable with the gracias. Everybody got into it. Everybody got into the goddamn spirit.
And it brings me to a point for match 3.
Spoilers.
So I like that you said this. When we get to match 3, I'm gonna make mention to it, but what you're talking about is one of the things that made me really enjoy it, and I saw so much fucking potential just from the way that they did it.
Okay. All right. Hold on to that. One added little feature as well that I thought was really cool about the actual production of the actual show is they introduced a new backstage interviewer. Now, she's not a full-time member of the WWE. I don't even think she's a full-time member of AAA. But it was wonderful to see Vero Rodriguez. There it is. Boom. Thank you. Vero Rodriguez. She spoke fluent Spanish while interviewing. I mean, that's her first language. But I'm saying on the program, she's interviewing the talent in Spanish. They're responding to her in Spanish. And then when she was done with the conversation, she turned to the camera and did it in both. She would do it in Spanish and then kind of translate a little bit of the tone of the interview into English, and then she'd pitch it back to the desk. And my wife goes, "That was interesting. Who's that?" And I said, "Oh,
She did it.
Go ahead.
She did it fluently on both sides.
Yes."
So when she started speaking English, for a moment, I didn't even know she could speak Spanish. And then she started speaking Spanish. I'm like, oh shit, is she like from there? Like she really talks that shit.
She's Brazilian.
I don't know how she did it.
She's Brazilian, and
Which is even crazier because they don't speak Spanish.
yeah, exactly, and that's Finn Balor's wife.
Why did she... Okay.
There you go. So for all
I'm not gonna be rude.
for all you gay boys, y'all know your heart is broken. But he's got his ass
All the
a
gay-
fine.
all the gay boys.
Because remember WWE was trying to slide into the idea that people thought he was gay for real. Like they would.
Oh well, if
they
that's
would
his
try.
wife,
Yeah,
that boy ain't gay.
that boy ain't gay. Ain't a.
She
ain't-
all woman.
Yes. There's not a gay bone in him. As a matter of fact, he's been putting his Irish bone in her.
That's it.
So yeah, I think all around production wise, first of all, the staging, everything looked great. I was surprised by the respect factor of the Mexican wrestling traditions that were brought to the programming. I like the fact that the roster from AAA came in and basically treated it like it was almost like a WrestleMania to them. They brought out their finest attire, their great gear. Everyone looked so good, and we're going to go into the first match because I noticed something immediately. And I thought, when I first saw it, I thought it was a bad thing. I was like, oh no, here we go. This is not good. My wife's like, what? I was like, oh no, this is not good. This is going to be a fluid thing throughout the show. And what I saw immediately was when they opened it with a 6-man tag, which was Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana, and the Latino World Order, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Lince Dorado. I said to myself, okay, they're opening with a 6-man. That's kind of traditional Lucha Libre style match. They're just going to hit us with the Lucha Libre right out of the gun, right? That's what they're going to do. They're just going to whatever. All right, makes sense. Let's get it all out there, right? And then the match started, and this would be a trend throughout every match. I'm going to really get into this in the main event. But every match started slow. They paced, right? For a AAA match, these matches started at a relatively kind of medium pace. They took their time.
I'm going to argue that with you.
Okay. For which match? This one in
Yes.
particular?
No. Across the board.
Okay, all right.
Because I like exactly what you said.
Okay, go ahead.
And we're gonna kind of piece it together as we go. But
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with you because of yes, and I'm gonna say that because of the perspective of Mexican wrestling in general. It's like a go type of wrestling style.
Right.
And I love that. Please help me with names because I don't remember all the names to everything. But the announcer, the other announcer, the
ones who were doing it in English?
announcers.
Yeah, Corey Graves and Conan.
Yes. And who?
Corey Graves, and then Conan was the other one.
Conan. So Conan, at the very beginning, this was like, I just want to let you guys know that Mexican wrestling is different.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's awesome. That was, first of all, he was on fire the whole fucking night. But
Ooh,
I was like,
we're going to have
yes.
to agree to disagree on that one, but go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. I can see why you disliked it, but I like what he did. But anyway, I like that he pointed that right away.
Yeah.
It just set the tone for me. Especially, and this is coming from someone who doesn't watch wrestling from Mexico a lot.
Right, exactly.
So I'm just giving you like that perspective. It set the tone for me because I thought it was going to be like go as well. And it was I think this started pretty quick. Like they had a good speed relative to the WWE because the cool thing about this is, yes, it's AAA, but the production, I felt like I was watching WWE. Like I felt like I was watching a Raw or something like that. But then you see all these different gimmicks and the different types of wrestlers. So I'm kind of glad he said that because it set the tone for me.
Right.
But I thought the pacing was actually pretty quick to the point by the time we got to the end and it was ramping up, I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be. I wanted to. The question that came to my head was like, is this sustainable? Like, it feels fun and exciting because from my perspective, I haven't seen this or much of it at all. But then I'm sitting there thinking, like, damn, can I see this like, am I still going to be excited to see this every month, every 2 months, however they decide to do it? Like, is it still going to be fun to watch down the line? I don't know. Because some of the stuff that they do is, and as you go through the match, you'll see there's like always a dive to the outside, and like it's kind of repetitive to some of that stuff.
Yes.
But yeah,
That's why I don't watch
agree
it all the
with
time. Yes.
Right, which I agree with you with the pacing. It might be slower than what I thought, but I did think it was very fast.
Well, I was going to let me break it down for you. Right? So in the beginning of these matches, started with the first match, and then it got increasingly more obvious to me, but as soon as they started the match, I looked at my wife and said, fuck, they had agents. That was the first thing that came to mind. I was like, oh, fuck, they got agents. That's what happened. An agent is a gentleman who sits in the back and sits down with the guys who are in the match, and they pitch him ideas of what they want to do, and then he formats when and where they're going to do it. So that means that somebody sat down with them and said, here's what we're going to do. Yes, we have a 6-man thing going on. We're going to focus on each individual person at a time. You'll do this, you'll do that, you'll do this, you'll do that. We'll pace ourselves. We'll get about 3 or 4 minutes in, and then we'll do this. And then about halfway through the match, flip it. Go lucha. Just fucking go bonkers. And that's where it was. If you watch each match, they take their time. There's a lot of wrestling in the beginning. A few spots here and there that might get the crowd up, especially when you include some babyface shine. Right? When you shine that baby face up a little bit, let them do a few cool things. You cut them off. You get that heat. American-style wrestling. But then, once you get about midway through, I started noticing with my wife, about midway through, something happens, and they go, okay, let it go. And they just fucking went nuts. And one thing that I was trying to see if they were going to say on commentary, and I don't think that they did, and I was telling my wife because I started noticing it in the first match, and then it became a theme again for the rest of the show. I told my wife, I said, one of the ways that Lucha Libre keeps the speed up in the ring is that they don't really enforce the tag. There's not a lot of tagging in tag team matches in Mexico. That's why when the Lucha Bros came into the States, it was kind of a shell shock for them. They were getting a lot of heat from people because they weren't really tagging. They just kept doing shit, which is what they do in Lucha. So here when they were doing this show, they were being very methodical in the beginning of the matches. So I was like, oh no, we're really just seeing Mexican talent in an American system. But as the speed got up, I started noticing they weren't tagging. They were just doing their shit. So I said, so what they're telling these guys is ease them in, get the crowd, and then once you got them, fucking take off and do whatever it is. Because every match got really chaotic toward the end, which is good. But by the time it got there,
it was fun.
It was great. Exactly. I 100%. I'm right there with you. That's why I was saying that this show was so great, because I haven't seen Lucha Libre in a while, but it is one of the things that I fell off of it for, because it's 8 or 9 matches. It's over the top rope. It's through the ropes. It's the head scissors. It's the arm drag. That's it for 9 matches. And these guys did it here too, but they included all these different things, and it made it a much more interesting match. So I was really, really appreciative of the way they did that. But I just noticed it right off the bat. So I got to...
All right, let's get to the real conversation here, all right? Not for this dancing around bullshit we're doing right now.
Go ahead, say the name.
Let's have the real... you know it. You know it's coming.
Say the name. Go ahead.
Mr. Iguana.
Oh, the man who has taken over the internet waves.
Dude,
grab the hearts of the American people.
Your thoughts? Because I know I'm getting baited into the... I'm the tourist here, right? Like, I see the funny, shiny thing. Mm-hmm. You kind of hate this type of shit in wrestling.
I do.
I think.
I do.
So what's your response? What's your response to it? They know what mine is. I'm a tourist. I'm taking pictures.
Right.
I'm like, oh, wow, look at that. I've never seen it. But you live here. Right. So what's your take?
I love the way you preface that, because that's exactly what the situation is, and I'm going to use your analogy in that right now, because it's the perfect analogy. I have to say this, and I have to say this on record on the show. If I say anything different,
Asshole.
if I say anything, no, but see, here's the thing. If I say anything different, then it's a hypocritical opinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like Danhausen, if you don't like Orange Cassidy, if you don't like GCW's Invisible Man, if you don't like Kenny Omega and the little girl, there's no way that you're going to enjoy this, right? When I first saw the match announcement that he was going to be in it, I was fucking livid. Because I've seen him before. I know who this guy is. And I know what the gimmick is. And for a split second, I was so fucking mad. I was like, how can WWE, of all places, who discourages gimmicks just like that from happening on their programming, have this guy on their fucking show? It doesn't make sense. But then it kind of did, right? Because here's the thing. He's massively over in Mexico. They love it down there. They love that guy down there. It's not even a question. He's arguably one of their top stars. That's why he was on this pay-per-view. They only brought in the best for this show, right? It's the tourist thing, like you said, right? You hear about it on the TV, You hear about it on the internet, right? It's like living in the Midwest, and you've been seeing pictures. You've been watching NYPD Blue and SVU, and you see New York City, the bright lights and the big skyscrapers, and it looks so wonderful, right? And then you go to New York for the first time, and you're taking photos and selfies, and you're doing TikToks, and you're doing everything. I'm finally in the city. It's great. And then you see the city for what it is, and then you go back home. How many times do you think that person visits New York City after that? Maybe 1 or 2 times. It's the same thing here. Everyone loved the iguana thing because it's the first time they've seen the iguana thing. They're not going to be as impressed by the iguana thing on the 18th time that they've seen it. So I'm not going to sit here and rain on anyone's parade. Enjoy the fucking iguana. If you want to see Lindsay Dorado do a backflip for no fucking reason at all,
Bro, he killed that iguana.
He squashed the fuck out of that fucking iguana.
Yo, that was amazing, dude.
And Mr. Iguana, to his
Holy
credit,
shit.
sold it when he landed on the fucking guy and all that other stuff.
They all sold it. When the first time when he swept his leg and did the fucking pin with the iguana count himself, a dude kicked out and it flew against the referee. He caught it and gave it back to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this shit is fire, man. I love it.
And that's the thing.
It just reminded me of wrestling, though. See, that's the thing. You see it all the time,
Right.
but you cannot deny back in the day, that shit was fun. That's the wrestling that I remember,
Right.
Watching. WWE,
Right.
sure, but the real deal with you with your laptop watching shit from overseas, that's the stuff that I see as old wrestling. So when I see it and it's done well, I'm like, dude, that brings me back, man. That shit is so fun, man. I
Right.
like it.
But
I just like it.
you have to keep something in mind. And I have these internet arguments all the time with people. Well, for instance, that gimmick, Mr. Iguana, right? The one that everyone told me, this was the most common one I heard. That fits right into early 90s wrestling, bro. That's new generation shit. Right? That's what I hear all the time from people. It was like the Plumber and the Bastion Boogers and the Doink the Clowns and that era of wrestling, right? When everyone for some reason had a job, like when Bob Holly was a race car driver and Erwin R. Shyster was a tax auditor, and everybody had fucking work inside of their work. That we had a barber and we had all kinds of shit. Because Mr. Iguana would have fit right in, right? And you know what? When we were kids in the 90s, I loved all those gimmicks. You know why? I was 9. I was 9.
And you should be 9 again.
Well, I wish I could be 9 again, but my wife won't fucking let me. Otherwise, I would. No, but see,
You're weak.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why, you know what? I've learned over time, I've learned to take my own advice. It ain't for me.
It's for me.
And it's
I loved it.
And it's for I'm not even going to say, like, you know how some people say, well, there's always something for somebody. There was more than enough people. There was a ton of people who had a really good time with that match, but then specifically, like, with that character. Yep. So at the end of the day, if you had fun watching it, I'm fine with it. The problem is that you don't. There's a middle ground, right? There's a difference between the like Orange Cassidy and then like Jim Cornette, right? Like there's a middle area where like there are people who like it because it's goofy and they like laughing at wrestling. Then there's the other super serious type who are just like, well, I don't want anyone laughing at my industry. You know, it should be done this way. I do think that there is a middle area. I do think, like, if you had a whole roster of Mr. Iguanas, that would be fucking goofy. But
well, no, of course.
Right.
That's what makes him special.
But that's why I didn't like the comparison to the new generation of the early 90s. They did a whole roster of that. That was goofy. That's goofy.
Those are bad examples.
Right.
Everyone was whack.
But that's what they tie it to. So like
fuck
that.
Those guys.
But as far as like just him with that gimmick, and if you could work things in logic, it's all about how you book that. Now, Mr. Iguana was popular on this one night, but he's not going to Raw or SmackDown. He's going back to AAA. He's going back to their television. So rock it to death down there. They fucking love that shit. Plus, it's Lucha Libre. They've suspended their disbelief fucking decades ago. They don't give a shit about any of the shit that we care about here in the States. If you could finish a match with an arm drag in 2025, there is some shit going on down there. So let him do his fucking thing. And if you want to bring Mr. Iguana will be in the Royal Rumble, I promise you. That's
awesome.
They're not going to let that shit slip through the cracks. That's going to be a spot somewhere. Someone's taking that fucking Mr. Iguana to the chest. It's just going to happen.
But that's so funny too. Sidebar before we move on.
Yeah.
Today, I sent a message to somebody at work. There was a patient or whatever that like kept giving us the runaround, and today we actually got the correct information. So I just randomly messaged the one girl who was dealing with it, and I said, we got his correct address. And she said, oh, I asked so many people. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't ask his iguana. That's who gave us the address. I haven't seen it yet. I didn't turn it on yet. I don't know why iguana came into my head, and then I saw that for the first match. I was like, dude, this is meant to be.
Jesus Christ. They're tying it all together. Well,
That's
our next match was a women's tag team match. Team Ass versus Team Senior Citizen, I guess, is one or the other. I don't know what was happening with this match. It was 3 people and then Stephanie. I don't understand. Now, I'm not an aficionado on AAA. I'm not trying to be disrespectful either. I know that, and I'm going to fuck these names up because I was trying to tell Steph the names. It was Cheek Tormenta and Dallas. That's going to be the 2 individuals. Dallas was... Because my wife was watching and she goes, whose abuelitas is these? What is happening here? Because Dallas is 50 years old.
That's hilarious because he was actually explaining that, like, these are the people that kind of, like, brought them in. He was explaining, like, you know, how they're your godmom or something like that.
Madrina.
With them first.
The madrina, the godmothers.
Yeah. So it's funny she said that.
Yeah, she didn't catch that part. She was coming in and out of the room when she saw that tag match happening. Only in wrestling am I allowed to be watching a match with 2 of the purest, finest Latin asses in the business. And my wife walks in and could not care less what I'm looking at. And I'm watching, and the oddball out in this is Lola Vice. Now, can I just really quickly, with this whole Lola Vice situation, okay? I will admit, I tap out. This is not an argument I'm willing to have. Beautiful fucking woman. Beautiful fucking woman. No doubt about it. But she can't wrestle her way out of a fucking sweater. There is nothing happening there. I've seen her on multiple shows. I've seen her on big events, their PLEs, their pay-per-views, whatever. I've seen her on the NXT show. I don't get the hype other than the body. which I'm starting to get a theme.
I mean, the body's kind of crazy.
The body is fucking ridiculous. But, I mean, we're in a fucking business here. All right?
Yeah.
If she
and
was,
business loves bodies.
yeah, but at the end of the, like Punk says, at some point the bell's got to ring. Right? And for someone who has a legit background in MMA, you know how we were saying before about, like, some athletes, like, when we talk about Kurt Angle, how Kurt Angle, like, it was symmetric. Like, he just fit when he came in. It was instant. He just fucking got it. Yeah, that's not this. This is whatever the opposite of that shit is.
Neither was Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I concur. Which is why when she got to the main roster,
What happens?
That's why when she got to the main roster, they said, "What the fuck is this shit? What are we supposed to do with this?" And so Stephanie had a ladder match later on, and it still didn't deter her. For what it was, it was a 9-minute match. I don't know how impressed you were with it. You can give me your thoughts on this.
I got to watch Stephanie. That's all that matters. Can I just say that I hate her fucking name is Stephanie? Like, I just hate that.
Why?
I'm just gonna. What do you mean? Why?
Yeah, what's wrong with Stephanie?
I don't like that.
You don't like the name Stephanie?
Because I don't like the idea of my brain putting hotness with the name Stephanie.
Oh, like the whole sister-in-law.
Yeah, no shit. Yes.
Yeah. I'm having a
They're
great
like,
fucking
Stephanie.
time.
I'm like, oh, yeah, you're in heaven. But it puts me in a weird place, and I don't like it.
I don't appreciate that shit.
Dude,
for years people weren't allowed to be Stephanie on WWE due to Stephanie McMahon. This is the first Stephanie in fucking a long time.
Well, I'll tell you what. She's the right one.
Oh, she is the one. Yes,
and she speaks Spanish too. I didn't even know that until
and she's not even
a little bit ago. Like, I thought she was just white, but then she started speaking Spanish, and I'm like, oh, I see.
No, she's not even like your basic brand of Hispanic. She's Chilean.
Oh,
she's from Chile.
Oh my goodness, that's how they making them out there,
bruh. I don't think so. I don't know that. We might have found the exception, not the rule, bro. Because I've been on a few social media posts where other Chileans were like, "We're so proud of you, La Prima," and they get on there, and I'm looking at the photos, the defaults. I'm like, "Yo, you need to put the shadow person back on your default side, for real."
Put the anime picture back up.
What was it? Was it Twitter? What was the site that had the egg? Remember when you first sign up your account, you get a fucking egg? What social media was that?
I don't remember. I don't remember that one.
We need to get Tom back in here to fix this. We need to fix some of these profiles. Tell Elon Musk.
No, it was a match. It was all right. It wasn't nothing crazy. We just got to watch Stephanie wrestle, which is awesome.
That's all that it was.
And do her move. Love her move.
Well, the move. Booker T loves her move too.
The move.
The move. What were they calling it? Devil's Kiss. That's what they were calling
Devil's
it.
Kiss.
Devil's Kiss. Woo. We're back into the 6-man tag worlds. Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto defeating El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. Wagner. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. Wouldn't that technically make him Dr. Wagner the Third?
Maybe.
He's the son of Dr. Wagner Jr. So Jr., he's 2. He's the son of that. That's 3. He couldn't just do Dr. Wagner Tres.
Maybe he didn't get the name.
But that's he's got to earn that shit. Oh, like Ray did.
He didn't get the name because he didn't deserve it.
He's El Hijo.
He found a loophole. Yeah. He found the loophole on how to get the name.
El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, y Psycho Clown. That brings me back to watching those fucking. That's the only wrestling my grandpa would actually sit through is the lucha libre shit. It's the only. I said my grandpa like I'm talking about myself. He's your grandpa too, but still, that's the only time he would actually let me sit there and fucking watch it. That fake cheat. That fake cheat. It's fake cheat. Son of a bitch. My grandfather was the best. He was a recovering alcoholic that found funny in everything. It doesn't matter how dark that shit was. That motherfucker would laugh at roaches and mice stuck in boxes. He thought that shit was hilarious. Look at you, fucking stupid. It's a box. I fucking love that guy. Anyway, so this was another 6-man match. This was a little different from the first one. I felt like this one was a little bit more paced than the other ones. But to be fair, the this match had all the veterans in it. So,
Yeah.
by this match, and it didn't dawn on me until Psycho Clown. Was it Psycho? No, it was Pagano. Excuse me. So Pagano had a situation that was a little bit of a fucking clusterfuck somewhere in the middle, and they got it fixed. It didn't deter from the match, but there was a little bit of a miscommunication. And then Steph out of nowhere goes, "Holy shit! That's like the first botch I can remember seeing. I don't think we've seen many botches so far tonight."
Nah, I wouldn't say that. That first match, that dude died. He went out the ring. And homie wasn't even standing up. The dude with the white mask and the white pants. They were supposed to go out, and he never moved. My man did a whole flip out the ring and landed straight on the floor. He touched nobody.
Funny story, she was making food. I don't think she saw that match. So maybe that's why that was the first time.
That's the first botch I saw, and I thought my man was dead.
But to be honest, there wasn't a whole lot.
There wasn't a whole lot. But that was the first one.
But that was the first one and the one that meant the most.
That one was crazy, bro. I screamed when I saw that shit.
When the first match happened and I saw the AAA stars go over, I knew on the other one the WWE guys were going to go over, and that's exactly what happened. I don't like the fact that it's nitpicking at this point. I didn't like the fatigues. That bothered me a little bit. Because they were like, oh, well, they're wearing the fatigues because they're prepared to go to war. I'm like, this is not one of those shows. This wasn't a blood feud. This wasn't like built like they cut a promo and it was been built for like a week, bro. What's with the fatigues? We did war. Like y'all just met. Like this is just happening. But
maybe they're always ready for war.
But here's the thing. I didn't know that there was history between the two factions. Apparently, before Santos Escobar left AAA to go to WWE, because Santos was a masked wrestler in Mexico, he lost his mask before going to WWE. He lost it in the ring. He lost it to El Hijo de Wagner Jr. So there's history there.
Oh, so he had smoke.
He had smoke. There was an issue in this match. It was like, hold on. Last time I saw this motherfucker, he took my mask. I got a receipt for his ass. Bring his ass to me. So that's how that. This one was listed at being 15 minutes exactly. 15:00. That's called making your time, bitches. When they said have a 15-minute match, they had a 15-minute match. 15 on the money.
The dot.
On the dot.
I'll tell you what. My point to this match that I stated earlier, about the way they like structured it, the way it felt WWE, but it felt very Hispanic, very Mexican. And LA, now that I think about it, was probably one of the best places to do this because it felt like they were in fucking Mexico. Like I kept thinking they were in Mexico. I'm like, oh, this crowd is insane because they're in Mexico. That makes sense. But I'm like, oh, wait, they're not in Mexico. Holy shit.
They might as well have been
one of the best places to have it. Oh, God, yeah. But, I guess it kind of makes sense because I didn't know he was in AAA before. But, man, this is the best that I've seen Escobar.
Yeah.
He just felt so comfortable. It just looked comfortable.
Because he was in there with people he knew. With his style.
Yeah, but even his promos, like, he's kind of talking the same shit he talks when he's doing the promos in WWE and stuff like that. But I don't know. Again, maybe it's just the chemistry or something. But like, they just looked so good there. And I'm just the point that I get to is like, I can't wait to see more of this because it's like, I feel like him being on the Spanish speaking show and being able to go full Spanish if he wants to, I feel like he just looks better, feels the product is better when he was just in that element. And that match made me think, man, what if there are just some people like it brought me to like EO. Like, what if there was a show where EO could just go in her native tongue? I'm sure her mic work would be way better.
Yeah.
And she'd look insane. But these guys were so comfortable and able to just go with their native tongue. And they don't have to think about talking. And you can get the real product. And I feel like that's what I got with Escobar here. I felt like he was just not not that he has a problem speaking English, but more like him just being so comfortable. It just felt better to watch. He does always look like he's forcing it, or he's a good talker, but it just never really feels good to me.
No.
Here, he was great, and I'm like, man, not even just them specifically, but it's just so interesting to see. Like, I just want to see more of it.
Yeah. Oh, to your comparison about EO, that would be an interesting idea of WWE doing a show. They have a relationship with Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. Like, if they were to do something similar like this, right, where they did like a joint NXT Pro Wrestling Noah thing, and then like EO Sky got a chance to wrestle on that show.
Oh my god!
I think it
and
would
shoot
be, yeah.
a real promo
In
with
Japanese,
emotion
yeah, with
in
another
her
Japanese.
native tongue,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about thinking about talking, just being yourself. I feel like it would change
Everything.
the way she looks completely.
It would change
Absolutely, 100%.
Our next match is the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT North American Championship. Ethan Page defends against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Rey Fenix. And you would
Oh my god!
not stop fucking glazing this fucking match. He sent me still shots and video and all kinds of shit. The floor is yours, my guy. Go ahead. Go for it. What was the deal with this 4-way?
I really like this.
Is
match.
this your match of the year so far?
We can of the year?
Yeah.
The damn year. I said of the show.
No, but
To be honest with you,
I've
though?
never seen you gloat over a match like this in my fucking life.
To be honest, I would have to sit with that, but it's up there. This shit was for a 4-man?
Can you think of a single match that's happened this year that you were more excited
Right
for
now,
than
under pressure, no.
this? Okay. You might have to be
can't.
reminded
I
by
can't.
some things, is what it is.
Yeah. This was just so good. Like, they were just around. Listen, it's very hard for Rey Fenix to do. Like, I just like his product. But everyone else was fucking going. Who was the guy? I'm trying to remember which one. Was it Lard? No, not Lardo Kid.
Laredo.
Who's the one that was wearing the black with the red mask?
Black with the red mask? Rey Fenix?
It has. No. It has to be him.
Not
But
in
anyway,
this
he
match?
was like the bigger guy.
He was. I am so lost in what you're trying to describe to me. Hold on a second,
Fair
because wait, because you're describing someone who was in
It has
this
to
match?
be. It has to be the Loretto Kid. It
Yes,
has to be
I think
him.
it was Laredo Kid. Yes.
Yes. He was really impressive. He was just. I felt like he was like a bigger guy. Like, he wasn't really tall, but he was kind of big. But he just moved really
Yeah,
good.
when I first met him, he was literally half that size. When he came through the entrance,
He's juicing. He's on the gear.
No, he's not on the fucking gear. There was nothing muscly about that man at all. He's on the tostones and the plátanos diet. He is on the arroz. He's on the chuleta. He's on all the mafongo. He's on all that shit. That's the diet he's on, son. He's not on the juice. Do you know what juice he's on? The mango juice. He's not on any kind of
fair
other
enough.
juice than that. When I met him, bro,
Yeah.
he was flaca. He was like thin when I first met him, and I haven't seen him in fucking years, literal years. I was supposed to use him in Red River Pro, and it was a scheduling conflict, so we couldn't use him. But I mean, the money was good. But
I was gonna say, is that when he stole your move?
no. That is not when he stole. I can't claim he
that
stole it
shit-
because I stole.
You can't
Because I
you
can't
have no
find the
pictures.
footage. You know, I have footage. I just don't know where it is. It's fucking stupid.
Oh, you left it in your other pants?
Yeah,
Is
it
that
was.
what it is? You left?
It was in another apartment.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I
until
actually
you
never had it. I'm
produce that
trying to get the guy
footage,
who recorded
that
it to give
shit
it to
was
me.
fired.
He's referring
That move
to.
was so good.
He's referring to what I refer to as the DDT Destroyer. It's a flipping DDT. He puts him in a DDT position, flips like a destroyer, and the guy sells it with a spike, which I did in the backyard. That's how long ago I did that shit in. But the guy who recorded it, I'm like, yo, do you still have any of that footage? She's like, I think I got it somewhere. And I'm like, bro, please, it's hot right now. Everyone's trying to get on this nigga's dick. I need this. I'm trying to get some likes right now, bro. Please.
You're like, hold on, let me go into my VHS tapes.
No,
I know I got
not
this
even
bitch
the
in here somewhere.
You know how old I am? You know how he recorded it? It was the little mini tapes that you have to put into the big tape to watch. You remember those? Like
dude.
for the hell yeah, it was one of those shits, and he has them. He just couldn't find us. I know they're here, bro. I just don't know where they're at. I'm like, fuck you. If I lose out on this, it's your fucking fault, bro. No, but they're all dope.
That's his move now,
Yeah,
man. That shit is
not for
fire.
nothing. He probably has been doing it for a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of talking to you, and Meechin just got a fucking concussion. That's a concussion. She can't see. She could taste colors, and she could see sounds. It's over. It's done.
So Javon Evans is from NXT.
Ooh, that boy bouncy. Yeah, the NXT boy.
That boy good.
That boy-
I gotta watch more of him.
That boy bouncy.
That boy good. Oh, that boy
He
good.
bouncy.
Oh my god.
He needs to add muscle.
Cody
He's
should
too
stop using the cutter. Just stop doing
and
it.
just give it to fucking
It's Javon's now. It's Javon. It belongs to. He hit that bitch twice, beautifully, beautifully. Oh my god! And Ray did a good job on the first one. I forget who he hit with the second one, but again, it could be a two-person thing. It kind of has to be. I just don't like. I don't like the way Cody comes off the ropes. He comes off the ropes like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah.
And I don't like how
And
usually
grass.
the person that's taking it is standing straight up.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like jump into him.
A lot
It's
of guys
super
he does
obvious.
it too. They don't know how to sell
Dude.
that.
This dude was he
it's
was
funny
so
'cause-
high up in the air and he just went and he knew Phoenix was just going to be in the right spot.
It's funny because Cody admits to stealing it. He stole that. That's a Will Ospreay move. Will
Yeah,
Ospreay,
he needs to give it back. That's the one move I don't like that Cody does. Everything else I'm cool with.
which is funny because it's
He's
one of
got
the
his
few
style.
flashy things that he does. He doesn't really have anything else flashy.
Then he needs to just not be flashy. It's so bad.
You're too
It
over
really
for
is.
it. That's it.
Nah.
So you did love
But
this
that
match.
boy good.
That boy bouncy guy. I like that guy. He's cool. Ethan Page retains here. I'm not a big Ethan Page guy, but it is.
Nah, he was alright.
He could do.
He kinda
could
bummed
do
me
some
out.
things. Yeah, he was slowing things down in there.
He was.
Our main event for the AAA Mega Championship, El Hijo de Vikingo against Chad Gable. Okay. There's
So,
nothing I can say.
I don't
here.
know. I don't know what is it? Vikingo? I don't know
Yes.
him that well.
Right. Go ahead.
Does he wrestle at this pace when he normally wrestles?
Hell no.
Okay, then hats off to him.
Yeah.
Because he wrestled a true blue WWE match,
Yes, he did.
and they both made this shit look so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
They paced it perfectly. They did their shit. They worked. They were clean. It felt like I was watching a main event on a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Between these two. Dude.
At his size, they were able to still make him look, and he did his part, like a fucking world champion. He looked like and performed like a world champion. And there's nothing I can say about this match that I haven't already said about Chad Gable, and particularly in the ring. And I'm done being humble about it. When that match was over, I was in my bedroom. I'm in my computer chair, and my wife was on the bed. My computer chair was near the bed. And when that match was over, I looked right at my wife, and I said, if I am Chad Gable, I roll out of that ring, I walk down the aisle, and I go into the back, and I go right to Triple H's desk, and I smack Triple H's desk. Bam! And I look him right in the face and said, fucking anybody. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is. That's what you get every time. Every time. Every fucking time you get that. I could fucking do that with anybody. I'm the fucking best you have. Period. And I just walk off. Because I'm done with it. At this stage in the game, I would love to hear an argument from fucking anybody that can tell me he's not the best wrestler in the fucking world right now.
He's in the He's the best in the business right now. And here's
right
the thing.
now, he's the best fucking wrestler
we were
on
supposed to have a 1-year conversation where he got killed, and now we can't talk because he's on a fucking run that we're wasting our time because we're gonna have to update it next week. This dude is working, so we got to figure out when we can talk about this guy.
Yeah.
Every week he's doing something
I gotta do
crazy.
I have to do the research on this because I made a claim the other day. My wife was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "I think I am. I have to go back, and I want to go back into the books for at least the last year, and I want to mark it down because I think I can make a case that for the first time in history, I think I can prove that not a single, let's say he gets pushed further, because right now he's gangbusters, right? Right now he's almost top of the card right now. I don't think I can name a guy, and I've been watching this my whole life, who has moved up the ladder farther from where he started than him, from a guy who loses every fucking match he's in. He is always losing. This motherfucker rarely ever wins a fucking match to anybody. Low card, mid card, high card. He always loses. And yet, every time he loses, he elevates past the person that fucking beat him. How the fuck does that happen?
I don't know how the fuck he's doing. He has a chip on his shoulder. I want to hear the story. Nothing will make me happier than knowing that at some point he was on the verge of being released.
He needs his own documentary.
That's what
today.
I want to hear. I want to hear that was the case.
That he was
and
on the
he just
verge.
fucking turned it around.
That's it. That is it. He is fucking, and that's not to take anything away from Vikingo, because Vikingo was asked to do.
Viking was phenomenal.
Vikingo was asked to do something that is very, very difficult. They handcuffed him so much in the beginning of this match, but like we said earlier, they wrestled, and then right when there was time to turn the lightning bolt on, he fucking went off. That 360 from the top rope to a bent over Chad Gable. He wasn't even on the fucking floor or table or nothing. He's standing up, and he pulled off a fucking 630.
Beautiful.
Then
this is like the human Blanca from fucking Street Fighter.
Yeah.
This dude was just spinning, hitting people, dude. That was crazy.
And he said it in the promo. My wife was watching the promo, and she loved it. Was her favorite line. She when Vikingo was doing his promo in Spanish, by the way, with the subtitles, he goes, "Chad, you get in the ring and you put on headlocks. I make magic in the air." And I was just like, and that's a beautiful line for him, because that's him. He's an aerialist. He is elite as a high flyer. He is the kind of guy where Rey Mysterio looks at him and goes, "God damn!" Like, oh my God! Like, he's so He's one of the reasons why Vikingo was pushed so hard for the WWE when the AAA package was being considered and all that other stuff. Like, they have so many stars, so many characters. And it's like, but that guy right there, he's fucking special. And they put two special guys in the main event of this pay-per-view, and it was fucking off the hook. Off the hook. That was an amazing. When my wife saw that match, when it was over, she was like, "Holy fuck!" And there's a pay-per-view after this. Good fucking luck.
Yeah.
Good fucking luck.
It was good.
My wife goes, "This whole show for my wife was fucking. This show was so good." Remember, I told you the first match she was cooking, and she was coming in and out of the room, and then eventually, when she came in that last time, she never left. This whole show pulled her in. It was an amazing show. She was just like, Jesus Christ. The show was so good.
Yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Well, now we have to travel to the other side of town. Let's just get this over with right now.
Your grandmother's wrestling.
Your grandma. This is for the abuelitas and the abuelos.
It's time for segment 3.
So on the other side of town, okay, the reason I don't know why you're upset, but everyone knows why I'm sighing. Everyone knows what I'm about to say.
You hate ladder matches.
Multi-man ladder matches give me a fucking enema. I don't like it at all. Multi-man ladder matches give me sodomy aches. I don't like them because they don't fucking matter anymore. It's just goofiness. Now, on the flip side, I did say this stuff based on promos and based on the way that the matches were set up, like who was in them. I did feel like it was very possible that the women would have a better ladder match than the guys. I was like, it's a possibility, just based on who was in there.
In hindsight, that's not fair.
Why in hindsight?
In
Why
hindsight.
specifically?
And because we know what happened.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to compete against that.
Right. Fair enough.
Like they had a story moment. You know what I mean? Which was fucking epic. So in hindsight, but you don't know that going in. But you don't know that going in.
Yeah, but you're talking about the ending. Before that ending happened, just look at the match.
It was a ladder match.
First of all,
it's not bad. Let me just go on the record and say that I don't think it was a bad match for what it was. For what it was, which was a ladder match. It was. I mean, Stephanie was there, so it's
okay.
It's okay.
Well, that brings me to the first match because when we get to the first match, let me lower my anger again because I'm getting just as angry as I was that fucking day because it's all coming back to me now. Remember I told you 2 seconds ago that AAA pulled my wife in and she stayed for the whole show, and then this match ended.
After this.
Then this match happened, and when the ending happened, she fucking left. Okay. She goes, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go take a shit." She went to go take a shit. They
ruined your quality time.
They ruined this ending to this match. Almost ruined the entire fucking weekend for me because we're talking about the opening match. It's the Money in the Bank ladder match for the women. It's Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Julia, Rhea Ripley, Roxanne Perez, and Stephanie Vacour. We can sit here and go blow for this match. Not necessary.
I'd rather not.
I love the idea. I think you had mentioned it before when we first talked about it, how it was like a mixture of like kind of a younger generation and the older generation. It was a nice dynamic. The ladder match is what it is. We're not going to go here and go nuts over a fucking ladder match. But when the match was over and we saw who the winner was, the person who won the Money in the Bank ladder match, I personally felt like all of my fandom of Triple H was thrown in my fucking face. And he hates me. He hates me. This is the only reason this would happen, is if he specifically hates just me. Because it's a perfect storm of all the bullshit I don't fucking like. I don't like the multi-man ladder match. I don't like the concept of Money in the Bank anymore to begin with. And I don't, of the fucking six, I could list in order of the people I would want to win this match, and Naomi would still be 10th. Because I would also throw in the referee. I'd like the referee. The referee, right? Michael Cole. I'll take Michael Cole. The ladder could win one of any of the 9 turnbuckles. And then
the actual briefcase itself.
Yeah, I would like the briefcase to become self-aware and just consume the contract and cash in on a champion of its fucking choice before nay fucking Omi.
Correct me if I'm wrong too, because I feel like I'm wrong and I want to be wrong here.
You want to be wrong here
because the first thing that came to my head the moment she won was I feel like she was the least active in this match.
Holy shit, yeah, of course. And you know what's funny? I'm not holding it back anymore. I'm getting upset again, okay? I'm not holding it back. You know what's so fucking funny? We were just doing a botch conversation for AAA. and how improved it was. You had your spots, they get a little flustered up, right? But pretty smooth 1 to 5, right? And the biggest problem that I have with Naomi is that she fucks every spot she's a part of up. Every single fucking time. If you put a group of people together, she's the one who's going to tip the fucking boat over. It is a guarantee. Naomi must have had 3 spots the whole fucking time, and she fucked 2 of them up. The only person in the fucking match to make a fucking mistake was the fucking winner. And I just don't understand. This is the same person you fucking released. You released this person. You didn't want them around anymore. And then the comeback and to be immediately put into a storyline with an individual. We were giving Bianca Belair all this credit. The Rock of Gibraltar, right? She has to put this fucking satchel on her fucking back and carry her up the Great Wall of China. Please, Bianca Belair, tap into the blood of Christ and get this woman over, please. With every bone in your body, try to get this woman over. And Bianca Belair, like Hercules himself, has tried and stirred to get this woman, please, like Naomi. And like the crickets and the cookies of the night, no one gives a fuck. And how are we still... God embodied Bianca Belair and gave her the gift of athleticism, and the holiness could not get her over. And she's the fucking winner of this match. I take it back. She's 12. I would have put McAfee's shoes above her. You could put McAfee's shoes, could have won the Money in the Bank. The person who was sitting in the second row of Section 107, they could have won the Money in the Bank before this person. I don't understand. Where the fuck do you go? Who does she cash in on? Who? Tiffany Stratton? Who's gonna EO Sky? Who? What fucking purpose does this serve? Who the fuck does this help? If you have Naomi cash in on Tiffany Stratton, fire Tiffany Stratton. There's no fucking recouping. No fucking recouping. That's like LeBron James getting dunked on by a Home Depot employee. It's fucking over. It's fucking over. There's nothing you can do. The reputation is shot. Or made it more like LeBron getting dunked on by Ben Simmons. But that's a basketball joke for other people. But there's no fucking... This helps. Look at the fucking names in that ring. Stephanie McCool, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, and Alexa Bliss. And some asshole in the back circled Naomi's name. Go fuck yourself. I should have known after the Triple H pay-per-view. I should have fucking not only turned off the TV, I should have cut off my internet completely. I should have just said, no, enjoy your peace and enjoy your fucking sanity. And go about your fucking business. But no, because I'm a glutton for punishment, because I'm a whore, because I'm a piece of shit who won't leave this wrestling shit alone for the life of me, I had to fucking watch this atrocity take place. And it happened before my eyes. And I think my wife knew I was going to blow up, and that's why she left. I'm not going to sit here and watch this guy fucking unalive himself right now. I'm going to watch the spaghetti. Fuck it. Naomi's 13th. The boiling water that was boiling my spaghetti could have won Money in the Bank, and I would have been happier about it. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. I really fucking don't.
Fair enough.
This was fucking disgusting. It was so. I slapped my fucking bed. I almost broke my. I was like one of those people on the internet when their team loses a game and they punch the TV screen. I understand
the TV outside and shoot it with a gun.
I understand it. I understand. You know when like your favorite player leaves your team so they go to the backyard and burn the jersey? I understand this feeling now. I get it. The betrayal of this shit.
Did you take all your belts and throw it in a trash can of fire?
Oh my God. I almost took out my firstborn son as a sacrifice to undo this. Please, undo this, okay? I want to touch radioactive material so that I can gain the powers of Superman and then fly around the earth and rewind time and have someone else fucking do this shit. I'll take the fucking lung cancer. I don't care. Undo this right now. Undo it. There is nowhere good to go for this. And if this is a setup to get a belt on her by Evolution, I hope Triple H breaks his left big toe for no fucking reason at all whatsoever. Seriously. I hope he chips a tooth on a cob of corn that he's eating the long way, because this is crazy. We shouldn't be here. I'm going to the next match before I lose what's left of my sanity and my hair. This was another match.
Dominic Mysterio's the champion.
Yeah, this doesn't
Liv
make any
Morgan.
fucking sense either. Octagon Jr. was just in a fucking 6-man. And just because Dominic was ringside, he challenges this relative unknown to the American audience to a match and just willingly puts the Intercontinental Championship on the line for later in the day. And then they go out there and have a literal, not an exaggeration, 5-minute match. It was 4 minutes, 55 seconds. And this is a very similar setup. So remember Dominic Mysterio, the last show, when we were saying that him and Penta only wrestled like 8 or 9 minutes, and you were like, oh, but that, that's good though, right? It showcases both guys. It's a strong win, especially for him. He's building up. This didn't do shit for Dominic Mysterio. I don't know what this was. This was random as fuck. All of those luchadors that were on that fucking show that performed and stood out, that would have been an okay choice for the promotion and the publicity and the marketing of AAA, and they chose this guy. And this guy's not a bad wrestler at all. But there are names that were on that AAA card that American audiences know. He ain't one of them. So I don't know if that 4 minutes and 55 seconds meant a fucking thing to anybody. But this is starting to piss me off because I was feeling so fucking good watching AAA. We're 2 matches deep. And I'm like, this is bullshit.
That's the problem, man. They were back to back. They shouldn't have.
This is bullshit.
Or at least I watched them back to back. They were the day after, right?
No, back to back. Back to back. AAA ended and then immediately went into the pre-show for the Money in the Bank.
Oh, shit.
Literally within the hour.
I mean, I watched them immediately back to back, but I didn't know they did it live.
Live when YouTube was playing AAA, it fed into the feed on Peacock for the pre-show to fucking Money in the Bank. To which I then switched to Money in the Bank, and within the hour, my 13th choice, 14th actually, because I would have taken Gunther's socks to win Money in the Bank before fucking Naomi. And that's what happened within the hour.
Hold on. We all know Gunther doesn't wear socks.
Oh, listen. I would have taken his bare fucking feet. Chop his fucking feet off. He wears loafers with no socks. Okay? I would have taken it. I saw Vikingo and Chad Gable destroy the Kia Forum building, shake the rafters, and put joy over the faces of pro wrestling fans around the world. 75 minutes later, Naomi won Money in the Bank.
We're off that match. So
that is the time period of which, for 75 minutes, the world was a happy place to live. And then it went completely to shit. So I'm watching Dominic Mysterio do whatever he is, dry hump Octagon Jr. for 5 fucking minutes. And I'm thinking, surely it can't get worse. And our next match is the last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria have a last chance match where if Lynch loses the match, she cannot challenge for the IC title for as long as Lyra has it. If Lyra loses the match, she has to raise her hand. I said to my wife, you know what? I like the stip because at least it's not like one of those blow-off situations that it has to be something very stereotypical, right? It's not in a cage. It's not a no DQ, no holds bar street fight from Carajo Land or whatever. It's it's a different type of stip. It's a respect factor thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. It's part of the storytelling. And I was like, all right, cool. So they went out there 15 minutes and they did their thing. They went out there and wrestled their fucking asses off. But I'm watching this match and I'm immediately thinking of you. Because I don't fucking see it. Help me. Help
you
me
don't like
understand.
Lyra.
Not a fucking... you know, the other thing is I don't hate her. I think she's a good in-ring performer. I think she does the moves. She's in the right spot. She doesn't fuck anything up. She's smooth. She's a technician. I get it. I get that part. Does she belong in the WWE? Sure. She's not a superstar of any fucking kind. I don't get anything from her that's like of any interest. I don't understand.
I say she's growing. I wouldn't call her a superstar.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
she's
not.
definitely growing, and I think she's got it. I just don't
What's
think
it?
this is
What
a
does she have?
storyline for me. You know what it is. She's got it. I think she's got it. She just needs to sharpen it a little bit.
I don't think she has a goddamn
I like
thing.
her gimmick. I like her wrestling. I think she's fine.
She reminds me of the head trainer of a wrestling school. She could do all the bumps. She could do all the moves. She could probably teach you how to be a fine wrestler. No actual marketing or branding or commercial appeal at all whatsoever. She's just one of those good wrestlers. There's a lot of those. I don't see
What's
this.
wrong with that?
What's wrong with that is that you don't make money with that. That's what's wrong with that. You don't draw money with that. You don't draw attention like that. You're just a good wrestler. We've had those in the past. A lot of good wrestlers in wrestling. When you're on the WWE, when you've got a championship, when you're one of only 5 matches on a pay-per-view, I would think there'd be a general interest in seeing you. Chelsea Green is not half of the worker that Lyra Valkyria is. But I want to see Chelsea Green on fucking TV.
I mean, a lot of people want to see Chelsea Green on TV.
Exactly. I don't want to see Lyra Valkyria or her sheep herding boyfriend or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't need to fucking see him either.
See, but I counter your argument with Becky Lynch because she's a superstar.
She's perceived to be a superstar.
I don't want to see that shit.
She's been exposed.
When?
Becky is not the star, not even close to the star she used to be. In 2019, I was in the building when she came out for the main event at WrestleMania. I was in that building. That was 70,000 strong. That building shook. She was over. She's not that person anymore. She hasn't been in a while. But she's perceived by the company as a star. The whole point of this program was to give Lyra that rub. And I made the comment after the first match that they had. I don't think there's much of a rub she can give. Because Becky's kind of already done everything there is to do. As a matter of fact, if you would have told me before this match started, based on the situation at hand, with Lyra struggling to get over as a champion and Becky kind of struggling to maintain the stardom that she has, what's the worst possible outcome for this match? It would be what happened, which is the fucking title change. How does Becky Lynch holding that title help anything? How does it help Becky? How does it help Lyra? How does it fucking help the Intercontinental Championship?
No, I'll do you one better. It hurts.
Yes.
It goes the opposite direction.
Fans are going to see right through that. They're going to see right through that. Becky being the Intercontinental Champion at this point is fucking weird. It's like all these people who are like, you know what John should have did during his 4 World Tour? He should have won the Intercontinental Champion so he could be a Grand Slam champion. For fucking what? He's got 17 world titles. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like being in the gold medal match and then like, you know, the one place he's never finished is 6th. You know, he should really slow up and really complete the whole thing, 1 through 8. What the fuck? Why the fuck would I do that? Well, I could be number 1. Becky's done everything. They put the fucking list on the screen. This is not me being an asshole. They put the shit on the screen for my wife to see and laugh. Royal Rumble winner, NXT champion, Raw champion, SmackDown champion. The only woman to hold both, not the only woman, she was one of the first women to win the Raw and SmackDown titles at the same exact time. The first woman to main event WrestleMania and fucking win. And this was before the 2-night format and before COVID. This was the real WrestleMania format. As a matter of fact, at 2020, the 36 show where it was in the Performance Center was the WrestleMania that followed that. Everything after that has been 2 nights. She's the last real WrestleMania main eventer in history. She's got a resume. And yet, since that resume has been fulfilled, when she this is the topic that nobody wants to touch, but I'll say it. Since the kid, it hasn't been the same. And it's not because of the kid, obviously. It's not because she got pregnant. That's fucked up. That's not the reason. The reason wasn't the kid. The reason was the absence. That was the fucking reason. She left. Other people took her spot and moved up and did a hell of a job. And now she's trying to come back and fit in on top. When she left, you know who appeared? Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. That generation of female came through. EL Sky, Dakota Kai. Those youngins, Raquel Rodriguez, all those NXT chicks came up. And it became a different ball field. And then she came in and just went, well, looks like I'm back on top. No. They positioned you that way because that's the position you were in. And that's the respect that you demanded from the company you work for. The audience moved on. For all the horsewomen, the audience for Charlotte has moved on. The audience for Bayley has moved on. The audience for Sasha Banks has moved on. It's a different time. They're the veterans now. I don't want to use the word, but they're the old heads now. It's different. This is a new generation of people who are watching you. And I know people are going to say, well, AJ, they were stars. Like, they came out of NXT in like 2015, 2016. That's not a long time ago. That was 10 years ago. It's a decade ago. There's a whole listing of people that are already ahead. And NXT right now has a whole new crop ready to go to try to take over Rhea and Bianca. That's how long they've been doing this. We're trying to figure out what's going on with WrestleMania 42 and it being in Vegas and how this is going to work out. And the Four Horsewomen debuted at WrestleMania 32. So this isn't the rub they think that it is. Lyra, and then it's not even a rub when you think about it because Lyra fucking lost. They took the belt off of her and gave it to fucking Becky anyway. So what's the result now? A rematch? Part 3 of Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch? I take it. I fucking take it back. Naomi is now 15th on the list. I would put the Intercontinental title belt ahead of Naomi to win Money in the fucking Bank because, goddamn it, and I would have it cashing on itself. Get away from these two. Let it be its own self-aware entity, both the briefcase and the belt. You can put the belt in the briefcase. It looks like intercourse if you describe it out loud. This is match 3. I don't like any of this. And I knew it. I should have fucking known. I should have fucking known when AAA happened that it was just too good to be true. I should have just turned off everything and went about my fucking day and just read the results of Money in the Bank. Because when this match was over, I was already in a steady decline. And my wife came back and she was trying to rub my shoulders. And then the next fucking match was the goddamn men's Money in the fucking Bank ladder match. And my fucking skin's crawling. I said, surely I'm not sitting here actually saying out loud that AAA had a better show than WWE today. Insanity. And you kind of spoke on the men's Money in the Bank as it is already because you talked about the big storyline deal. We had Seth Rollins, Andrade, El Grande Americano, LA Knight, Penta, and Solo Sikoa. Now, again, big bumps, big sequences. Chad Gable, for me, took the bump of the fucking night when he took that side suplex all the way from the fucking top of the fucking ladder. That man is a madman. He's a fucking madman. But Andrade and Penta were in this match for one reason and one reason only, and that was to take crazy bumps. And that's what they did. Yeah. They took crazy bumps. LA Knight was in there to give the fans hope that something good might happen. He did his job. Solo Sikoa was in there for no fucking reason at all whatsoever. Did he do anything in this match?
He was silly.
Yeah, he did he was doing everybody else's hand gestures. That was his role in the fucking match. And then there was fucking Seth fucking Rollins. And my wife asked me before the match, she goes, who do you think is going to win this match? I said, look at the field. It has to be Seth. There's no other reason to book it this way because it's all storyline. Right? Because he's doing the whole deal where he wants power, he wants control. You know, he can't win the world title right now because it's in flux. But if you give him the Money in the Bank, you can pretty much kickstart his world title run anytime that you fucking want. It's perfect. Well, is the Money in the Bank supposed to get over like the next guy or whatever? It's like, babe, that's why I hate this match. When Triple H came out and said he wasn't a fan of this match, I was so relieved to hear it.
What?
Because Triple H went public and he was like, he's not a fan of the concept anymore. He thinks it's run its course, and he's 110% correct. If you want to keep the ladder match deal just for the high spot and the excitement of it and all that other stuff, but you don't want to take it,
What
don't
was
want
the
to
one they
include main
got rid
eventers.
of? Not Backlash. There was a pay-per-view
They got rid of Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. Do that instead.
Oh my God, please no. You know what? Naomi is 16. I want Hell in a Cell to win Money in the Bank before Naomi so that he can cash in on Triple H and get his match back. That's to get his pay-per-view back, excuse me. So just so we're clear on the order so far. So this match took place. Seth Rollins wins with a bunch of bumblefuckery.
Hootenanny.
Oh yeah, it was a spectacle. That's for sure. And what were your thoughts of this match? Because I've been ranting this entire time. I'm ready to stick a
Dude,
screwdriver in my head.
I almost feel guilty doing reviews on these Money in the Banks because I just feel like our response to it is kind of the same, right? It's a ladder match. I don't go into it with as much hate as you do.
Fair.
So I enjoy it for what it is. So it's fine. Like, I like the little spots of jumping, doing a little, setup with the ladder, and then go tickle somebody, and then you come back later and you do a flip on the ladder. Like, we get it. We see it every single time. I enjoy it. It is what it is. Like, there's nothing I could do about it. It's happening. But the Solo Sikoa thing at the end was pretty good. The whole "I hate you" thing and seeing that happen and wondering how that story's gonna play out. That stuff was cool. I mean, like you said, I already knew Seth was gonna win. So it's just a matter of how he was gonna do it. His goons came out. Some more goons came out. It was a big fight. He ended up at the top, and he took it. It is what it is. I'd rather them do something else with this time. I'm sure there's a different pay-per-view they could do. Something completely different. Create something new. You don't need the Money in the Bank is so stupid. Especially if you're going to put it on someone who is already at the top level. Like Seth doesn't need the briefcase. He's gonna get a title match regardless.
He basically is Money in the Bank. He's Seth Rollins.
He is a walking Money in the Bank. I honestly even believe that it feels like if anybody wins that match, I kind of low-key feel like, why was Seth in there to begin with?
Yes.
Like, if Seth
That's why I
doesn't
said
win,
it had to be him.
So why the fuck is he even in there?
Yeah,
it's a waste of energy.
Could you imagine if LA Knight would have won, but then Seth's in there? It's like,
it just doesn't make sense.
God. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God.
So, hopefully he comes up with something different. Because the Money in the Bank thing is just kind of silly.
Because I told my wife, I said, you know what? If you want to keep it so fucking bad, but you don't want to do anything real and legit with the main eventers, change it up. Change it up. Make the Money in the Bank contract specific for something else. How about this? Do a tag team Money in the Bank. Just do. You know what? Just do tag teams, and then the winner gets a shot at tag team titles whenever he wants. Or do like a mid card Money in the Bank or some of this shit. If you don't want to put your main eventers in there, or that's fine. Just either get rid of the fucking concept, or do something different with the fucking concept, because the concept is played. When they said that the first Money in the Bank ladder match was 20 years ago, I was like, bruh, stop. I can't even remember a gimmick that outlandish lasting this fucking long. I don't. And then people, they couldn't even. I was telling people, because they were like, I'm so flustered right now. Like, I can't get all the words out at the same time. There were some people who were like, but it gets people over and it gets people to the next place. I said, they stopped doing that years ago. Last year's winner was Drew McIntyre. And he failed to cash in the night that he won it. You didn't even remember. I was trying to ask people if they remember who won last year. They couldn't. The year before that, Damian Priest, okay, he cashed in at WrestleMania. That's a good one. Who was before Damian Priest? Nobody remembers. They're not making anybody with this. Even for the women, who was last year's women's winner? And that was a big one. You were in my house when we found out about that.
And I like Damian Priest, but I low-key don't like that cash-in.
At WrestleMania, right? The opening
I
one.
was so excited for him to win that belt, only to lose it to the cash-in. And that's my guy. I like Damian Priest.
Yeah, Drew had it for
But
5 minutes,
I felt
right?
so bad for Drew having to drop it there.
Just to further the storyline with Punk. Which the program was fire, but
we could have did it with the belt.
We could have did it without
too,
the goddamn belt. Yeah, he could have. Yeah, he could have held that belt leading up to Punk. But it was what it was.
Yeah. It was what it was. That's the past.
Which was exactly what the main event was. It was what it was. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against John Cena and Logan Paul. 23 minutes of I don't know what the fuck.
I'll tell you what, that fucking that drone spot with the on the top rope.
That was
I
hot.
fucking love that.
That
shit.
was hot, actually. That was pretty cool.
That was fire, and I love that they kept the camera on him, so when you didn't see the splash coming, and he gets hit.
They didn't do anything. He was holding it, which was beautiful. Because I don't know how he was able to hold that drone the whole suplex.
Perfect.
But the beauty is that he held it all the way through, took the bump, still held it, and then the splash came out of nowhere, and it just it was too much for the camera. He couldn't hold that.
It was absolutely amazing. And then when they ran the replay, I don't know if this was intentional with the camera angles, but I couldn't see the drone in it.
Oh,
so when they ran the replay,
referee,
you just see like the stuff happening because you obviously can't see it because you're seeing it through the drone, but you get to see it from the outside. And it literally just looks like he's taking, I don't know. It was just good. I love that whole drone thing, man. That shit is, and I know that's him.
Yeah.
That's his genius
idea,
with that shit.
Yeah, that's
100%.
That's definitely his idea.
Yeah, that's fucking fire.
It was a tag match. It was what it was. Jey Uso selling an injury leading up to the big Gunther match on Monday Night Raw. No, we're not going to get into the match on Monday Night Raw tonight because who gives a shit? We can have that battle next week because I don't have it in me to have that fight today. I'm all worn the fuck out already. That's a different conversation for another day. And yes, I did hear what Rikishi had to say. I always have to hear what Rikishi has to say. Everyone has to hear what Rikishi has to say whenever anything. If anyone sneezes on Jey Uso, Rikishi has an hour-long podcast to talk about it. I get it. I understand. It's his son. He's going to say what he's going to say. But Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, John Cena and Logan Paul, not for nothing. I felt John Cena versus R-Truth was better for the farewell tour than this tag team match. How about that? That's where I stand with it. This whole
that R-Truth math was good.
4 minutes of it, better than the whole 23 minutes of this shit.
That shit was good.
I didn't care. I don't think anyone cared. The stagey acting with the two egos flaring up. Paul pushing Cena, Cena pushing Paul leads to a big tag, and Cena, oh no! Oh no indeed, John. Oh no indeed. I'm not going to front. I can't wait for Peacemaker, but this is no good. This is no good.
Well, at least the ending leads us to
oh,
to
yeah.
where we're going.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's a very good point. Those two motherfuckers do conveniently mesh. Let's get into that.
It is now time for our main event.
Our main event of the evening is the ending of this main event because while John Cena, Logan Paul, and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso were combating, John takes I think there was a double down at one point. They're all down, whatever the case may be. And out of the blue, John gets to his feet. He's about to do some dastardly heel-like work when a hoodie-wearing heathen of some kind jumps the rail, slides into the ring, and does a big old double leg on John and starts wailing away on John's head. And my wife goes, who the fuck is that? And as Truth starts wailing away on John Cena's head, the hoodie rides up and I saw black skin and I went, uh-oh, I know who it is.
I know who it is.
It's Ron. Ron's here. And he starts beating away, and he's got the ski mask and everything on. He starts disrobing, and the place goes bananas. It's our truth. He's back. We want truth. The hashtag, it worked. No pun intended. They got him back, and then he does the fucking belt shot. He fucking leaves the ring. Cody takes advantage. Crossroads. Babyfaces take the giant win. But enough about the fucking tag team match. The boy is back.
He is.
Our truth.
I don't remember where we left it, but I'm pretty sure I want to say that we both agreed that this might be a work because the WWE didn't announce it.
I said there was a possibility because the WWE didn't announce it, and also the mere fact that he was the only one really talking about it. There wasn't really any word from any other source, so I left the door open. That there's a good possibility. Yeah, this is probably something they're cooking up because of that one factor. Because normally when they do releases, it's a big thing. There's a whole thing on their website. There's a press release. It's a whole fucking shebang. But what added to the fuel for me for it not being a work was Carlito and Valhalla. He wasn't the only one they released. Now, if you want to tell me that it's long-term storytelling and Carlito's coming back with his PS5 any day now, that's a different story. But I need to have this conversation just really quick. And this is going to be quick because it doesn't take long to explain this. I need people to stop using the word work in the way that they're using it. Okay? I need that to change. Because I don't think people are truly understanding what the word work is. I think, personally, people are confusing that word with another word. I think they're on the right path. I'm not calling anyone stupid here. I just think you're using the jargon incorrectly. So I'd like to quickly clarify something, okay? I don't think people truly understand what a work is, okay? I think they're confusing with a different word, and I'll explain. A work does include the word that I think they're confusing it with. I'll reveal that in a second. But a work is essentially feeding someone some information that is not real. You're making it up or you're giving them a lie to convince them of something so that you can get around them and fool them into believing something that will help you progress. Okay? That's how an angle works. When you do an injury angle, you do a move to somebody, the big splash, right? You do 6 tsunamis, you're coughing up blood, it's a whole deal. That's a work. You know why that's a work? Because the idea of Seth selling in that way is to get Bronson Reed more over with the audience. To convince these people he's a more dangerous man than he probably really is. They're using a fake injury to put over someone else and get them more over as a heel. That is a work. We're working this situation here. The key to a work is progression. Something is supposed to come from the work. It's very simple jargon that anyone can understand. It's a lot like going to actual work. When you go to actual work, you want to be paid. There's supposed to be a payoff to the work. Okay? That's what a work is. If what you're telling me is a work is that R-Truth went on Twitter and stated that he was released, and you believe that not to be true, that he was lying, that they were working us, right? That they're telling us this bullshit, that he's being released when he's not really being released and he's going to come back and he's going to do something else, right? If you're considering that a work, I think you're confusing that with a different word. And that word that wrestlers use for that is kayfabe. They're confusing work with kayfabe, in my opinion. They're taking what they think is a lie and calling that a work, as opposed to just saying they're trying to kayfabe me, which is different jargon, inside jargon. Every show that I've ever been to, whenever someone's talking to me, even if it's something not about wrestling, if it's just something that they're telling me they don't want other people to hear or other people to know, they go, hey, brother, kayfabe that for me, okay? Don't tell anybody. That's what that is. Kayfabe is simply just the lie. My name is not actually AJ Orsini. But all of you motherfuckers out there know me only as AJ Orsini. That's a lie. That's kayfabe. Now, in this particular situation with R-Truth, I don't believe the release was fake or a lie or a work. I am now, as of today, convinced it was 100% true. That they legit released him. Now, true.
You think so?
Yes. And I'll provide what I feel. Again, everything that's being stated here is completely opinion. But I will provide what has convinced me. And the biggest piece of evidence that convinced me was the name change. Before he went on TV on Raw, remember the pay-per-view happened on a Saturday. Before Raw, when he showed up and did the whole promo and cut his hair and everything like that, the day of the pay-per-view, the night of the pay-per-view, when Ron came back and jumped on John Cena, the pay-per-view was fucking over, right? I'm in my room enjoying libations, as Cody Rhodes would call it, because what a shitty second half to my evening. I need to be drunk right now. So I'm doing all kinds of stuff. And my phone blows up. And there's a good friend of mine. And he sent me a picture that he snapped from someone he saw from another page where it was the night of the pay-per-view. They released new merch. It was a shirt. It was a Ron Killings shirt. And people said, oh shit, I think he's changing his name to Ron Killings. Ron Killings is his real legit name. When he was in TNA, he was known as Ron the Truth Killings. That's where R-Truth comes from. R for Ron, Truth from his TNA days, R-Truth. When he did the thing with John, later that night they released a new shirt for him that said Ron, it was for Ron Killings. That, to me, sealed the deal that this was indeed and in fact a legitimate firing. They fired him for real. Because that firing, I think, was done very quickly, very suddenly. And while I'm sure he saved his fair share of money, it was abrupt. And when they came back to him again to get a new deal worked out, the hitch in the giddy-up that I'm hearing about through the grapevine is that the reason why they let his contract expire and come to an end is because they wanted him to take less money. This is a rumored number, but I'm hearing something around the $500,000 to $550,000 a year. Not official numbers. This is just what I'm hearing. And he didn't want to take less money, and he shouldn't. And if I was in his position, I wouldn't have either. And he didn't ask for a raise. He didn't ask for more. He just didn't want to take a cut. So they just agreed to not resign. And apparently this decision to not resign was not the day of. It was several weeks, possibly even months before it got to this point. But they didn't. Remember I said last week that release was a bad word for him to use because technically his contract was coming to an end. He probably just figured, why wait till the end? You might as well just release me now. And so technically it might have been an actual release when really it was just the end of a contract. They paid him. They fulfilled the deal. And both sides got what they wanted. But there wasn't a re-sign. And in order for a re-sign, you have to have a negotiation. And they couldn't meet together on the negotiation. Thus, the letting go of R-Truth. Now, the fans believe that the We Want Truth thing is what got him signed again. They said it on TV. Ron pushed it, that it was you guys, you brought me back, which is a babyface thing to say. It's great for television. Unfortunately, I don't buy it. The reason I don't buy it is because he was only gone a fucking week. They only experienced one Monday Night Raw of We Want Truth. When Daniel Bryan got suspended for the bow tie, We went through months of Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan. There's been many situations where someone was released, Zack Ryder, woo, 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 for months. He never came back, but there was a voice there. There was a few releases that happened. CM Punk. CM Punk left the company. They chanted for 7 years. There were times where guys would leave and they would chant for forever, and then forever would occur, and then they would reconsider. This happened in 1 week, which leads me to believe not everybody was on board with his release in the first place. The conversations never stopped happening. They were just trying to, what I'm hearing now, is meet in the middle. So my assumption is somebody, and I'm not going to play the name game like everybody else is. Triple H is mad. Tony Khan's mad. I'm not Tony Khan, excuse me. Nick Khan's mad. This person's mad. That person's mad. Ari Emanuel's mad. They're mad at each other. They're pointing fingers. I wasn't in the room. I don't know. But I know business, and I know the wrestling business, and I have the feeling that in order for Ron to come back, he had to agree to at least somewhat of a pay cut. And in return, I believe that's where the name change comes into play. Because if you're going to react like this when Truth gets released, just know now that the clock is ticking. There is no forever contract. He may be signed a year, maybe 2 years. Who knows? We'll learn over time what that is. But he signed a deal to come back. In order for that to happen, that means he had to have taken less money. I don't know what that cut was. I'm not going to dig in the man's pockets. But I salute the man. Because he knows that if he's going to plan to do anything outside of WWE, he needs to be able to have some sort of rapport with a name that he can use outside of it. And so his real name would be perfect for that. That's what he was using before WWE. Besides K-Crush and K-Quick and all that stuff, he was using his real name. He can go back to that legally and not have to worry about WWE. He can continue his life post-WWE with this name change. So it's a beautiful meeting in the middle. WWE gets a little bit of what they want. He gets a safety net for when his contract is up. Everybody fucking wins. But now we have a bigger problem. And I told you that the only that everybody who was chanting the "We Want Truth" thing is that they were full of shit. They don't really want truth. They're just upset you took their favorite hoodie out of the closet. Okay? He's funny. They like to laugh at him. He's a jokester. They don't even want him in the ring. No fan wants him in the ring. They just want him to continue to do the goofy, laughy stuff that he's been doing for years. But now he's back. And he's not laughing anymore. And I made the joke the other day with the Captain Holt footage with my buddy Stephen James. He's like, "We want truth." And he's like, "I'm back." And they go, "Yeah, but I'm not Truth anymore. I'm Ron Killings, and I'm mad now." And they go, oh no, not like that. What are you doing? No, that's not what we wanted. We're going to see now if y'all really Truth fans. We're going to see now because they hired his ass back, but he ain't laughing no more. You see all that clip I sent you, him cussing at Dave LaGreca on the fucking Busted Open radio? He out here cussing.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck you think you talking to? And uh-oh, the whites are not going to be happy about this. No siree, Bob. This ain't the truth y'all wanted, so now I want to see it. I want to sing it. Bring it to me. Show me. Show me that love for truth that y'all have so much. Show me that fandom. I want to see it. I want to see it. Did you see his promo on Raw?
Yep.
Listen. I'm familiar with that truth. Me personally, I'm looking forward to this version of our truth. I want to see what a PG version of that TNA Ron Killings is going to look like on WWE television. I'd like to see it. I want to see if he can do it. Because Netflix is going to let him get away with a few things. But he ain't going to be out here with the fucks and the shits and the bitches. So we'll see how that goes. I don't believe for 1 second this was a work. I just think that some shit went down. And there's a lot of mixed signals in that locker room. Because, Somebody go tell Carlito that it's a fucking work. Because he's in Puerto Rico right now.
He's working all right.
Yeah. Valhalla. Somebody go down to the ranch and go tell Valhalla it's all the work. You can come back any minute now. No, this was real. They let his ass go. And it must have been an internal battle on that decision because it got rectified almost immediately. And they bent over backwards to make sure he was happy because he's about to do some shit he's been trying to do for years now.
Well, let's see if he does it.
He gonna do it. I just watch. Mark my fucking words. This crowd's not gonna take to it. Because that's not what they were asking for. They didn't ask for wrong killings. They wanted our truth. They wanted the juking and the jiving and the how do you do, sir? That's what they wanted. They didn't want an uppity Negro. They wanted that laughing Negro they were laughing at before. And I'm not trying to make that a racial thing, but that's kind of what that was. That's what he's saying now, that's what that was. It was a gimmick. It was goofy. It was laughing. It was this. It was that. He got over and he made his money because you pointed and you laughed at him. Now he's not giving you a reason to point and laugh. Will you still be a fan? I want to see it. Because I don't think you are. I'm calling bullshit. Like my wife said, it's that dress in the closet that I don't wear anymore, but I can't get rid of it. Because that's the dress. I haven't worn it in 15 years, but you know what? That's my dress. It stays right there. It doesn't go nowhere. That's truth. He was a blankie. He was a binky. No matter who came up from NXT, no matter who got released, no matter who got signed, you always had truth. And they took their security blanket away, and like a baby, wah, they wah, wah, wah. And now, okay, your blankie's back. Ooh, what does that smell? That's not my blankie. Oh, no. Oh, that's the wrong blankie. No. Take that back. Bring me my old binky, not this binky. What's this binky? No, thank you. It's not the same. It won't be the same. Just another example of what I've been saying for years, fans and their toys. That's what we are. That's what wrestlers are. It's fans and their toys. They just play with their toys. Clink, 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 and they took a toy out of the toy bin. They got mad, so they put the toy back. But it was missing pieces. It wasn't the same toy. That's all it is. We don't
Fair
need,
enough.
you know, and we'll be talking about this for a minute now because now we're gonna see. By the way, our truth I mentioned earlier was on the show on SmackDown attacking John Cena, so we'll see where that goes now. But y'all was ready. A Saturday Night Main Event. There was an actual movement online for people to try to get Truth to win the WWE Championship, and that was the goofy, funny dude. Are you going to be as supportive for the serious, dark version of Truth beating an actual John Cena for the WWE? It's not going to happen, but would you be in support of it? I want to see it. By the way, as an update, the SmackDown Men's King of the Ring qualifier, the LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes were running into a spot. And LA took the bump. Carmelo comes off the top rope with a frog splash. Randy hits an RKO mid-frog splash and pins LA Knight. Randy Orton advances into the semifinal.
I didn't think they were going to go that way. I really didn't.
Me neither. And he's got Sami Zayn in the semi. And on the female side, Piper Niven eats the pin as Jade Cargill advances.
Ooh, okay. Wrong and wrong. Let's go.
Wrong and wrong, but not. I'm not totally against these picks. If we're going, are we going to go all the way with this? Is what I'm trying to say. Because now with that matchup, I don't know if I want Sammy going to Saudi Arabia now. At least not in this capacity. I don't know now. I don't know. We'll see
with
next
Orton
week.
in play, I don't think Sammy's the gimme now.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that changes that whole dynamic now. Because if I pull this back up for just a second, on the other side of that, we thought it would be, you wanted Andrade. I chose Priest. But then on the other side, we both said it was Jey Uso. A Jey Uso, Randy Orton final, maybe?
That wouldn't be half bad.
That wouldn't be half bad. We'll have to see. That may be the best match of Jey Uso's fucking career.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to go drink now because I got all wound up all over again. Up! Naomi is now 17th. That can of beer that's waiting for me, I definitely want to win Money in the Bank before this bitch ever did anything ever again in her life. So there you go. All right,
Fair
guys. All right, guys. We thank you for, thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for downloading. And, of course, thank you guys for enjoying. We will see you. We're doing this on Friday. This is going to be a quick fucking turnaround for Tuesday. And enjoy Father's Day. Father's Day weekend. We're going to, I don't know what your plans are. I don't have almost any plans. So, because it's going to rain on Saturday. We were going to go to a baseball game for it, but it's going to rain, so fuck it. So, for whatever you guys are doing over the weekend, enjoy actual fathers, not single mothers. You guys have a day. Get out of here. This is for the men's. All right? I'm not going to go through that speech again, but happy Father's Day weekend. Enjoy. And we'll see you guys next week.
Mic drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. Cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.